we would toss in an extra minute on his clock as if that's going to be all important.
Yeah, this is still fine. Levon will now, in desperation, double check his score sheet, hoping against hope that it is the third time he's playing knight e7. But it's only the second.
So it's bishop g2 or bishop h1. The problem with bishop d5 is it takes the square for your king.
Yeah, I'm not sure we want to do that. I think it has to go back, yeah.
But
even bishop f3 wins, we're being told, which is kind of surprising to me. But
yeah, because that was the one square I wouldn't want to put it. Intuitively, I want to meet after bishop g2 the move f5 with the move g5. If I put my bishop on g3, pardon me, if I put my bishop on f3, I'm kind of encouraging my bishop were here.
Yeah, I don't think this is a very human thing to do, because why give black an extra tempo?
But bishop g2 is curtains.
Yeah, bishop g2 seems to be an end or h1 as we've established. But.
Right. So it's a little bit confounding. Wesley seeing some ghost? Is it nervousness? What's going on,
Well,
Peter?
he is, I'm guessing, quadruple checking by this point. It's not really double. I'm pretty sure he's gone through this in his mind already many a time. And
Levon doesn't want to be at the board.
No,
he's gone.
No, yeah,
like, I don't want to see bishop g2. I don't want to see bishop h1.
In games, it's all about that principle of hurrying, but not rushing. So I think...
Yeah, king d4 completely throws it away. If you play king d4 here, after king d6, it's a draw.
Okay.
Wow. So that's the one thing you cannot do. But king d4 is such a counterintuitive move.
No,
Why?
You can't give black the d6 square. It just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense.
No, but withdrawing the bishop and just saying to black, I'd love you. I mean, right here, with the bishop's on its most perfect square, the king's on its most, you would love to pass and say, black, please make a move. You'd have to move the knight, and then the king would just instantly go to d5 and e6 and
and bishop e4 in that position is also the only winning move, but we've sort of established that. The position which we get after f5, g5,
But bishop g2,
f5, g5, they take, we go h6, h7, they go g4, king d5, f4. And in that position, nothing wins but bishop e4, but it's kind of unsurprising, because we want to stop f4, f3. Cutting our bishop off from everything. So
give me the knight. Yeah.
And then the king calmly collects everything.
Exactly. Majesty.
Yeah.
Wow. So here we are, all a tither, waiting for the moves bishop g2 or bishop h1.
And
just
in the meantime,
not the move king d4. That would blow it.
That would blow it, and he
there
drops his
G2.
bishop to g2.
And there we have it.
A little nervousness as well.
Wesley's clock ticking down to 1.5 minutes there. He's making. So now Wesley under 2 minutes on the clock.
I'm pretty sure Levon knows. That facial expression says,
yes.
I will now recheck again, because what else can I do? But yeah, he knows this wins.
Yeah.
He's been calculating nothing else for the past 10 minutes, it feels. And
for sure.
It's just, for him, said that he has absolutely no choice. There was no way he could avoid it.
Right.
Yeah. And in the end, though, the result has never really been in doubt.
Not for the last 25, 30 moves. I mean, somehow when they entered this ending, we thought it was going to be easy draw, that Levon had it
even
all
more.
Worked out.
This is move 73.
Oh, excuse me. It's really
they repeated quite a bit. Yeah, for the past 40, for the past 40 moves, it felt like it's only a question of when, not what.
Exactly.
A very clean game by Wesley.
What just happened? I mean, the bubble burst. We were having this draw virus of 2 draws out of the 20 games played. We were at 10%, and suddenly, snap, crackle, pop. 3 out of 4 games, decisive, Jovi, the rest
the stakes have risen so much that people feel like they're unable to just be satisfied with a draw. When we have Anish, he needs to have a top 4 placing if he wants to stay atop of the FIDE circuit. And we also have Wesley and Ali Reza in particular. who wanted to secure the FIDE rating spot to the candidates. And everyone came in a fighting mood, reinvigorated by the rest day. And as you saw, we saw very complex battles where one side just lost control. I mean, this is perhaps the only technical game that we saw that was a gift for Wesley.
Impressive play also by Wesley. I mean, you know, okay, Levon might have, you know, presented him, but he never let it get away from him either.
Absolutely,
the win, that is to say. Anisha's approach would have been lauded had he won. It was brilliant. Play 1 G3 and let Lanier choose his problems.
It's a very complicated position. I mean, you guys at one stage thought that the upper hand had shifted to Anish, and then it got very complicated. The players were in time trouble.
Right.
And then one wrong move, and that's it. Lanier was just effective with his own counterattack.
Great stuff, just great stuff. Bishop G2, Peter, and what? Well, we're going to pause our analysis here for a moment. I think we've exhausted ourselves. Tell us about the peak for tomorrow. What's going on, Jovi?
And there you can see it. Fabiano Caruana will have the white pieces
scratch
against
MVL Duda.
Wesley.
There will be no MVL Duda. Oops, come back with that graphic. We were just getting into it. We'll bring that back. Here we go.
And Levon Aronian faces off against Anish Giri, and Maxime Vachier-Lagrave will have a bye, as Jan-Krzysztof Duda did withdraw after the second round. For Nepomniachtchi, he will have the white pieces against Ali Reza Firouzja, but for Lenier Dominguez, who now is in the FIDE rating spot for the 2024 candidates, he will have the white pieces against Richard Rapport.
So for the rating spot and for us to have a particularly exciting last couple of days, we want Fabi to beat Wesley and for Lenier to win again, right?
Yeah.
And then they will be kind of level-ish.
They'll be close.
I think there'll be a 10 points difference now. So if one wins and one loses, that brings them very, very close together. And then there will be, each will have one final game to play. We assume, there's still exciting possibilities ahead of us in terms of all of that. But once again, to restate the obvious, Wesley doesn't lose very many games of chess.
No, he does not. And again, Peter, I'm looking at this position. I understand Levon is, but there's nothing beside F5. There's just absolutely nothing. Any knight moves invite king
D5,
to D5,
E6,
E6. If you move the knight anywhere, for example, knight C5, king D5, followed by king E6, and the king simply collects his pawn. You move your king,
it's even worse.
It's even worse. That just allows the king to come screeching right in. King D6, and everything is on tap for white, which leaves us this one. And then there's one very important move right here that we throw in bishop E4, hitting the knight, and the bishop keeps these two pawns under control.
And just to show this variation to the end, after knight H8, the simplest is just to go after that knight. You go king E5, F3, and here we demonstrate that we understand that those pawns are very easily controlled. We go king F6, F2, bishop G2.
And then when
we go king G7, takes H8, king G7, H7, H8, queen.
Exactly.
And all of that is entirely unstoppable.
Exactly. And if our king were anywhere close to H8, we'd be in with a shout.
Not even then. Even then, because we can go bishop D5.
Oh yeah.
Controlling both G2 and the Let's demonstrate what we're talking about for our viewers. King D6
You're going to
here.
let the black king even get to F8 and still.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, exactly. Even this isn't a draw because we go bishop C4, G3, bishop D5. Yeah.
Yep,
and look at him go. They're racing right
towards that
our variation, and the king on F8 has to release the king on G7, and it's a win. So the players are getting to the variation that we've been talking about. And for Wesley, this is just absolutely a dream come true. Candidates, he's that close to it now.
Yeah.
You can almost feel it. Help me out here. For Wesley, he obviously made the candidates before, but how many times will that be for Wesley?
I think twice, right? He played Moscow and he played Berlin.
Yes.
And Moscow was sort of mediocre. Berlin was an unmitigated disaster.
Right.
And he hasn't qualified since, as far as I can remember.
And he's just played h7.
Yeah. If you play f4, white will play bishop f3, and you will not even get the pawns past those two squares, so you kind of have to play g4.
Right.
And then, as we keep on mentioning, king d5, f4, you have to find bishop b4, but you will find bishop b4 because no other move makes really any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, f3 was, well, that's pretty lame.
Yeah, that's not great.
At a certain moment, bishop h5 might be,
Yeah.
no, not good.
No. And, well, g4 played,
On the board, yeah.
and the players both on their last minutes. And for Wesley, it's just being accurate.
Exactly.
That's all he has
I
to
wanted
find.
I wanted to check if the
King
move
to
king
d5.
d4 here throws away the
fail.
win. It doesn't, but it takes much longer if you play king d4.
I can
But,
well
but once
imagine.
again, why would you give
Never.
black d6?
Exactly.
Never,
Yeah,
never.
There's just no reason whatsoever to do that.
Exactly. In fact, you do want to make a beeline towards that knight and promote your pawn.
Yeah.
King d5 on the board.
f4 really the only conceivable move here.
And now the only move to
And now-
win
yeah,
is
and-
bishop e4.
But unfortunately, that move really suggests itself. You
It
get
does,
your
doesn't it?
bishop away from f4, f3, which would shut down your bishop and maybe cause a real problem.
Okay. And well, when it comes to Wesley and playing the candidates, he's only played in 2018 in Berlin.
In Berlin.
So that was a
fail.
I played Moscow and I still failed. I still failed to appreciate that he wasn't there. You know, but I can sort of explain myself there because by 2016 he was so strong that like my mental picture of him
It
playing
was-
it was very much
He belonged.
kind of natural for me to think he played candidates in
belonged,
And
2016.
yeah.
talking
even though-
about natural, bishop e4 played.
On the board? Or is that me? I think that's me. I apologize.
sorry.
I think that's me.
Yasser
That's
is a
me.
natural though. So
Well, thank you very
the
much.
statement stands.
On that note, by the way, I don't know if you've ever played those games with other grandmasters.
Well,
And by the way, we have G3
That's
on the board.
surprising because now white cannot go king e6 because knight f8 check, of course, but a move like bishop f3 and black is just immediately in complete zugzwang. You can't really even do anything. I'm not quite sure where he's intending to look for chances once he's played that.
G3.
Perhaps he's just
Should
hedging
do.
his bets on a cheap trick.
Trying. I wanted to say, have you ever gotten into those memory contests with players like who won, New York 1924, who were the players in the interzonals, Bobby Fischer's, who was the 20 victories of Bobby Fischer and things like that.
Those specific things, no. I've seen people do sort of there are famous videos of, let's say, Magnus recognizing chess positions, right? And,
Exactly, that kind
and
of thing.
that is an incredibly spectacular video, by the way, for anyone
Right.
who hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
Magnus just not only naming the players and the move and how the game concluded, but also very often naming correctly the place, the year, and the round
Right.
of the game, which
is crazy.
it is quite stunning. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried it myself. Like I can do maybe
Oh.
30%.
Levon down to his
Seconds.
last seconds.
And
He'll play
that
a 4.
No.
And
he
no,
resigned.
he extends
doesn't.
his hand in resignation, and
Wow.
Wesley so wins. So Wesley now is the sole tournament leader, 1 point ahead of the rest.
Is it
What a
just
game
me,
by
or
Wesley.
is it Wesley does better in classical chess than rapid and blitz? Like the longer the time control, the better his results?
Well,
Here, yes, obviously.
recency bias, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it feels to me that when he's playing well in anything.
And end of story.
Yeah. So when it's his tournament, he can be extremely strong in both formats. But recently, maybe a little bit so. Yeah.
Wow. Huge, just simply a huge victory for Wesley, Jovi. I mean, that's
significant day of chess.
My goodness.
You know, having an impact on this tournament, but also on the live.
Hi Wesley, congrats on your win. It was a very tough game for you and long. How are you feeling?
Extremely drained, but of course, I'd like to thank Jesus Christ for the victory today. But it was very tough and just like totally drained right now because I had a 5.5-hour game against Lanier before the rest day, and then I had another 5.5 hour. But I'm very pleased. Obviously, it's very difficult to win. Normally, I make a lot of draws, but it's very good that I managed to win 2 games this time.
That's awesome to hear. Wesley, your rivals, Anish and Fruja, they both lost.
Yeah.
I know you were like watching their games
It's
very
good news,
closely, and which is a very good news for you.
Yeah.
It feels like it's more realistic right now for you to qualify than for them.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm in a very good spot unless they host make-up tournament next month. Yeah, like anyone can play a match. Like I'm thinking if I need 1 point to try to qualify for the candidates, maybe I could play Leonard Utz and beat him 10 times. And, I mean, I guess like I heard they're planning to have a 7-round, I think 7-round super tournament in India next month to try to help Gukesh qualify. So there's still a long time away. I mean, it's okay.
Also,
I guess.
Gukesh is
Yeah.
playing London Chess Classic.
Yeah, that too.
So-
Perhaps probably the World Rapid and Blitz. So I think I pretty.
FIDE announced he will be participating there too.
Yeah, I think I have pretty decent chances to qualify by rating at least because I think this is the last classical tournament for Firuzja of the year. I don't think it's playing anywhere else classical. But take it daytime. Again, my priority is to qualify for next year's Grand Chess Tour, and I'd love to qualify for the candidates, but no pressure. Just try to play well.
Yeah, absolutely. You're having a fantastic tournament, and good luck with
Thank
the
you.
rest of it. Thank you.
Thanks.